The girl was adopted as her own daughter by the head cook of the Eastern Palace. She grew up working in the kitchen, leading a quiet and happy life. But one day, an imperial decree sealed off the entire palace. The crown prince was deposed for treason and had both his legs broken. The crown princess was beaten to death on the spot, blamed for failing to guide her husband properly. A eunuch gathered all the palace staff to pick maids to follow the prince to his exile in an abandoned villa. But everyone saw it as a death sentence and hung their heads in silence. The prince was overcome with despair. Soldiers drew their swords and threatened them one by one. Soon it was her adopted mother's turn. The girl quickly stepped forward, offering to serve the prince in exchange for her mother's life. In the end, the eunuch chose the girl, her mother, and another maid for the task. The prince was dumped at the villa gate like an animal. His personal guard, the former imperial guard commander, tried to rebuke them, but the soldiers mocked them for no longer holding any authority over them. Watching all this unfold, the girl realized that even the most glorious crown prince was no different from an ordinary man. The guard settled the prince on the bed, then asked the older woman to cook a warm meal. Worried her mother would wear herself out, the girl offered to take her place. This caught the guard's suspicion. As she lit the fire, he pressed a blade to her neck and accused her of being a spy. The girl explained she was only a kitchen maid. But he was convinced she wanted to get close to the prince's food to poison it. She made it clear she would never be foolish enough to poison food when she was the only one cooking it. The guard lowered his blade and stood by to watch her closely. Soon a simple dinner was ready. The girl took a piece of flatbread and ate in the corner. The guard served a bowl of porridge to the prince, but with no experience in caring for others, he could not feed him properly. He had to call the girl over to help. She took the bowl, blew gently on the porridge, and fed it to the prince. But he refused to eat, believing there was no point in living as a cripple. She told him that as long as he still breathed, he had to find a way to survive no matter where he was. Hearing that, the prince finally opened his mouth. The girl thought things could not get any worse. But the next day, the prince's leg injury flared up, leaving his life hanging by a thread. The soldiers refused to let any doctor enter, saying the villa was a prison for the deposed prince. The guard swallowed his anger and knelt down to beg them, but they only stood by coldly. Staring at the prince's pale face, he slammed his forehead hard against the ground, begging them loudly over and over. At that moment, the girl tore open the prince's trousers to expose his wound. The prince immediately cried out in pain.